everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. The lion. New man on the next so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
Yeah, buddy. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday. Or no, actually, it's Thursday. Sorry. Got a little messed up in my days. I do apologize. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. I got nothing to drink. It's all good. As you can see, there's one team that's still winning. Tar Heel Nation in the building. Well, not right now, actually. Down 17-7 Pitt. So, hey, you know what it is, though. It's Washington Football Weekly. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. And, hey, we got good news. We didn't lose this week because it was a bye week. So it's positive, and I got to shout that out. Look, give me some, man. Give me some. Look.
It's nothing because, if you in our rankings, we still went down a spot.
Yeah.
We went down a spot.
Everyone else won.
Right.
But we're closer to a better draft pick.
Hey, which way we going? Yo, look, I got to shout out my guys. You already know who it is. Washington Football Weekly. My guy over here in the hottest, stickiest place in America. South Carolina, Mr. Dub K in the building. Will Kramer.
Yep.
What up, Will?
Yep. How you doing?
Always good. Hey, and you see who's down here. You looking for his cape, don't worry about it. It's there. That's the Black Superman. My guy, the shirtless wonder, Ab Low in the building. What up, Ab?
What's up, man? Just so you guys know, I'm trying to keep it clean today. So I'm gonna try no cursing today. All right. I'll try my best. It's hard.
I appreciate that. I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm in Mama's house today, so I appreciate that, bro. I ain't trying to get run out the house. All right. Yo, you already know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Washington Football Weekly, man. But hey, before we do any of this, man, you know the day. It's November 11th. Got to shout out the veteran. Happy Veterans Day. Hey, and we don't got to go any farther than my guy right up under here, right here. Mr. Ab Low, man. We appreciate your service, my man. You already know we love you dearly, man. So thank you so very much. Happy Veterans Day, my guy.
Bless you, man. I appreciate it. All the love, man. Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah. Definitely got to shout out the folks we know. Hey, veterans running my family, my pops, my granddaddy, my uncle, my cousins, my nephew. It runs in the family. You know, I got the teaching and talking genes. We'll leave it right at that. But shout out to veterans. Shout them out, man. Hey, I'm so glad we have this day. And you know what, though? But it's not just – this is a double positive today. And I love shouting out my people, man. I love shouting out my people because it's not just Veterans Day. But something else happened today. My guy Ab got the job. He was going up for the new position. He got it. Yo, shout you out, my dude. I had to shout you out. You know that.
Oh man. You make me smile, man. Oh man. I picked up a position at the local VFW in Waldorf, and I'm inspired, and I really want to bring a place of diversity. Like right now, if you guys know anything about VFWs, it's a predominantly old white crew, and I just want to bring diversity. And I'm not even talking about just Black people. I'm talking about younger people. Like you know what I'm saying? Younger veterans need a lot of help, and honestly, that's what I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best to bring young veterans in there and get them help, and so just so that they know that they're not alone. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
It's awesome.
I love that. I love that, man. Shout out to you, man. Help it any way you can. I can dig that, man. I can absolutely dig that, man. Yo, so again, gotta shout out our veterans, man. Gotta absolutely shout out our veterans. We gotta stop just letting this just be one little day, and we need to be shouting them out every single day of the year. Everything that they do for us, a constant service to this country. So, hey, Ab, right now you're the representation on this show, so we shout you out, man. All your brothers and sisters, and what you're doing right now, because that right there is huge. You know what I mean? Just by you talking to some of these cats and working with them and letting them know that there's hope, that's a big thing, man.
Yeah, I don't really say my piece about what I go through and everything like that, but just it's hard to get up some days, you know what I mean? So and I know I'm not by myself. I know I'm not the only one. So I just want to reach out to him and find a way to reach out to him, and just if I can help one, you know what I mean? So like it's and go from there. That's and it'll be all worth it, man. It really will. And one veteran at a time, we're gonna make it happen.
There you go. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. Well, hey, rest assured, Ab, because I need to let you know you have helped one. Abdul, you have been right here rocking by my side with Will ever since January and February and doing all this stuff. And I so appreciate it, man. So, hey, let's keep this thing going. Let's definitely keep this thing going. Hey, while I do that, it is November 11th, so I have to send my happy birthdays. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that know me, know what this day means to me. My son turned 19 years old today. Jonah Alexander Birch is 19. Shout out to you. Love you so very much. Yes, Will, you know you were right there with me when in the very beginning.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, hey, he's doing big things. He's over at Belmont University in Nashville. He's into music. He's spoken word, man. He's really into like the gospel and the religious scene. And he didn't get the athletic. He tried to do the football thing, the sports thing, wasn't in him. But he has the heart. He has the mind for a lot of this stuff. He's in podcasts. He's doing all this stuff. I could not be happier. Absolutely. So to you, happy birthday. You already know I love you, man. Everything that I'm doing here, hey, I'm just trying to lead the way with whatever you're doing. But what you did, what he does and all this stuff, check out his Instagram, check out his Facebook. He kind of led me, man. I mean, in the Bible, it says, and a child will lead them. And I've definitely been motivated by a lot of the things I've seen from him. So happy birthday to you. Definitely have to shout that out. And it's always funny that it happens on November 11th, being Veterans Day. I have a family full of veterans. This with it. Hey, God works in mysterious ways. And I just thank God for the blessings, man. That's all it is. No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, but you know why you're here. You know why you're here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're still here. I might be wearing blue on the shirt, but the Washington is still on the hat all day, every day. And we had a bye week. Like we said, we didn't lose. This is positive. Well, we didn't lose on the field. Off the field, the Giants still won. The Eagles didn't look bad. But we did not lose on the field. But we had a couple things happen, and we're going to go with the longest running segment on Washington Football Weekly, like it.
What? I can't hear you. What?
He skipped out. Hated it.
I'm like, he's like, I'm like, what are you pointing at?
I know we're doing it a little early today. We're going a little early today.
No, we did. You dropped off, bro. So
what the hell?
Yeah.
Yo, we're gonna like it, love it, or
hated it.
There we go. Yo, shout out to Will because Will picked it up. He said hated it. Yo, we have to go into this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the longest running segment on the show, and this is something where we really get to tell you how we feel about certain things. And ladies and gentlemen, one positive thing we did do on this bye week, we released Chris Blewett and picked up a real kicker. Absolutely. Will, I'm coming to you. Like it, love it, or hate it. How do you feel about this?
Actually, I hate it.
No. What?
And I'll tell you why I hate it. it's an improvement. You gotta like the fact that we got rid of Blewett. You gotta like that.
Yeah.
Dude, he was 2 of 5 as a professional NFL kicker, and those 3 were because they got blocked.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even missing field goals. He wasn't getting it past the line of scrimmage. What I hate about it is the whole thing. I hate the fact we didn't have competition for Dustin Hopkins this offseason.
Yep.
And so we got to the point where we were stuck. And we cut Hopkins and signed Blewett a week after the Colts brought him in for a tryout.
Yeah.
So it's almost like we panicked and said, "Uh-oh, we might lose the guy we've been having. Let's do it. Let's bring him in."
Yeah.
And he hadn't kicked professionally in 4 or 5 years. You know, it's one thing if you're pulling someone that was just out of college, that didn't get drafted, that didn't make the roster of an NFL team, but is staying active. But this dude hadn't kicked in 4 or 5 years professionally.
Yeah.
And we bring him up to the professional ranks.
Right.
And so, so that's why I hate this whole situation. The other thing about Joey Sly that I do not like, okay, do you like the fact he's got a big leg? You like the fact that he can kick the ball from 50 yards? That's where Hopkins struggled. Joey Sly is 88% on his point after attempts. The league average is 97%.
Oh.
That ain't good.
No.
So I don't sit this saying here going, we got our kicker. We got our next 5-year kicker. It's an improvement, but we'll have to see how he does. But I'm not excited about this. I feel better that we don't have Blewett anymore, but I'm not sitting here going like, heck yeah, we got a guy. Plus, it's just another doggone Panther from Ron's old days that he brought in. Like, can we stop doing all the retread Panther plays?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yep.
So, like I said, I'm kind of down on this, but it is a step in a better direction, but I don't think it's where we want to be. Ain't no Justin Tucker.
Yeah, right. We had nobody's Justin Tucker. Yeah. Look, real quick, Al, I'm gonna go. I love that they cut him. I absolutely love it, and I love that we got somebody else. But hey, at the end of the day, the trend keeps going. What happens to players that leave Washington? They go elsewhere and they do decent. He went, Hopkins. He went to the Chargers and went 3 for 4. Now, 3 for 3 on field goals. Did miss an extra point. He did miss an extra point, and it's kind of like, So that's okay. At least that stuff's not out of him yet. But at the same time, it's like the fact that Sly was available is nice, but he's available for a reason. You know what I mean? So I love it because I'm being optimistic. I'm hoping Sly could come in and shore this up, but being a Washington fan, I gotta be like, but yeah. So I just by the name we've all talked about is gone, and Ab, I actually called out Anthony on our show the other day because I was like, you ain't gonna come on the show and tell us you called it after we already been talking about it for the. And he was like, "Oh, I didn't say that." I said, "Don't make me get the videotape. Don't make me get the videotape. All right." So what do you think about it, man, Ab?
So I wanted to add before I forget to jump on what Will just said. He said, "Can we stop getting like just the Panthers?"
Yeah.
Not only should we stop getting the Panthers, but it's a bad look. It's like lazy scouting. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Like I think Ron Rivera's trying to prove a point, but yet he's sitting there picking the same guys that he's already dismissed. And why are we only addressing the kicker? Like I don't understand that. That's why I don't like I like this move. Blewett, like we already called it. We knew it once we saw his name. We were like, Blewett, all right. I was spazzing out just from the name, and I was already done with that. But I just don't like how Ron Rivera is only addressing the kicker position. We have so much what's wrong with us. And to me, just the fact that he's only addressing the kicker, like that's the only thing that's wrong with this team. It's really, it's really suspect. It really is suspect to sit here and just see this. I like the move, Sean, only because Blewett should never have been on the team in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Never, not at all. Shout out to Nathan watching us saying, "What's good, y'all?" And saying, "I think it's a decent pickup." Honestly, look, hey, hindsight's 2020. If it ends up working out, that would be great. I do think that you have to be wary of the fact that this guy was available at this time of the year. And you know, he wasn't highly coveted. We didn't like trade draft picks to get this guy. He was available. And most guys available right at this time are not guys that you want to be interested in. Will, what you got, man?
Yeah, I saw a thing saying that the top 5 most accurate field goal kickers, there's actually one that's available, and his name is Josh Lambo.
Right.
Shocked to find out that he's a top 5 kicker. I mean, you're talking, he's in the mix with Tucker and Bucker and Zerline, you know, and like some of these, you know, really reliable kickers. And yeah, he's a free agent. So it kind of goes to Ab's point, like, so we just went back with someone you guys have cut before because it's easy, because it's reliable. Like you're dating your next girlfriend, you know, like this isn't, you're not doing better for yourself. Right. So, you know, like I said, we'll see, you know, yeah, is it a decent pickup? Sure. For where we're at, it's a decent pickup. So Nathan's right there, but, you know, you can't get too excited over it.
Yeah. I'll say something real fast.
Yeah.
I think it's about perspective too. I think if you look at it as we just need a Band-Aid for the rest of this season, then okay, this is fine. This is absolutely fine. You're not looking at this as he's a long-time answer for, right. And as long as you're not looking, as long as you have your expectations in check, we should be okay. I think he will do just sufficient. Mm-hmm. Obviously, a lot better than Blewett, but I think he would do sufficient for the rest of the year. And we just don't need anyone to lose us games, you know. Like I think everybody needs to do their job, and unfortunately, we can't hold on to a kicker that can't kick. So like that's just bad. Like honestly, Ron Rivera, I swear to God, he should just really he should be targeting other positions too. Like I'm really just blown how we switched over this position several times, but yet don't try to upgrade any other position at all on this team. Not one bit. That's just mind blowing to me.
Right. And we're definitely going to get into that because it's interesting, and this was the immediate need. But look, we got to move on to one of the other immediate needs, and something we will touch on a little bit later. I'll start with this one. Like it, love it, or hate it. We know what happened at the trade deadline. We did not make the move to get Mitchell Trubisky. However, there have been talks that he's still one of the guys that's very much liked by the Washington organization, and he could potentially be in the running for somebody we're looking at for next year. I hate this. I didn't like it. You see what the shirt is. It's North Carolina. That's where this man came from. Okay. But he only played 13 games as a college starter. Okay. I didn't think he was ready to come into the pros when he went to Chicago, and then he went to Chicago. So now I just feel like he's jaded. You know what I mean? Can the guy play? Yes. But I just worry, we don't have many more weapons than Chicago does. You know what I mean? We maybe we feel like we're better than them, but really we're on the same. I mean, they're 3-6, we're 2-6. Difference is the bye week. You know what I mean? So with this, I hate this. I do not want if we're gonna say whatever happens, let's dive into this all season and get the next guy. This does not need to be the guy. We don't need to be saying we're getting him now and come into offseason just to get him. No, I hate this. Do not want Mitchell Trubisky here. Ab, what do you think, man?
I like it. To me, I think it's okay to start thinking about the future. And honestly, to me, just because we get Trubisky doesn't mean we don't draft a quarterback. Like, honestly, it'd be one thing if it was like, oh, we just signed Mitch Trubisky to a 5-year, $100 million contract kind of shit. Sorry, Sean. So, but
hold on, Bill.
It'd be one thing if we did that. I think it is sufficient if we sign like a 1-year, $10 million deal. Yeah. And then we and honestly, we still draft a quarterback. I think that's perfectly fine. Mitch Trubisky is a sufficient quarterback. He is okay. I think given the chance, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think he, like in Chicago, like he just we're not any better, but I think I think it's just a toxic area in Chicago. I really do. Like they're impatient, like you know what I'm saying? Like they need to win now. And I mean, granted, that's us too, but but to me, I think there's like with Ron Rivera, it's not a win now, right there, like right now kind of thing. It's not like what Nagy, he's about to lose his job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like almost every year he's on the hot seat. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like he put that pressure onto his quarterback, and no quarterback can really play. Like, I'm not saying no quarterback. I'm just saying, I don't think Mitch Trubisky could play with that type of pressure on him. Yeah. So 1 year, $10 million, draft a quarterback. And honestly, I see like an Andy Dalton role for him. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And the fact that they're looking at it right now just means that they are looking like it. I think you should always have an eye on the future when you're coaching. I absolutely do. I think that's okay. I like it.
Yeah. Nice. Well, what do you think, man?
I have to agree with you, Sean. I would hate this move. I want to know what happened. I think it wasn't his second year, so maybe Matt Nagy's first year, where the two of them clicked, and then Trubisky just fell off. And so I'm very curious what happened that year. That was it just because the scheme was so new that nobody had film out on him, that they were just confusing people? Because he looked good for a year, and then he really fell off the cliff. To the point where I don't see a difference between Mitch Trubisky and Taylor Heineke at this point. So I agree with the idea that bringing him in is not saying, oh, well, he might be good here on his third team. We may be the rebound, for him. And even with him being young, he'd be a placeholder. But I'd be just fine, saying go with Heineke until if we draft a quarterback they're ready, or honestly, like right now because of the offseason, Ryan Fitzpatrick owes us $10 million. Dude, you need to give us 1 year $500,000.
There you go,
and come back and play because you just stole it. So
we're coming for that money. We're coming for that money.
But when you do talk about dollars and cents, right now Trubisky's on a $2.5 million contract. So if that's what he's getting to come here and be a placeholder and wait for it. If that's all it is, it's not the worst. But I just would have no excitement over Trubisky at all. None.
Right. And look, he can. I think he has the ability to play. But I think what everything you guys are talking about, the Nagy situation, what's going on, that area being toxic. And Chicago fans being toxic. We know we have resident Chicago fans with us. And one thing they hate is Aaron Rodgers, and everything else is, well, Chicago this, Chicago that. So we know that area. What that's done to him. Hopefully Buffalo maybe have changed that up. But if he's thinking about coming here, I just don't know if he's going to bring a lot of that stuff. Now, if he does come and then we go in the draft and get my other guy, Sam Howell, and have a dual North Carolina backfield, what? Let's go. I've been waiting for this. Let's make Washington the new North Carolina and not Carolina Panthers. Let's go. Get Mac Brown here coaching. Let's go.
Womp womp wow.
A lot of wishful thinking.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Look, check us out. We have to move on, and this has been the bye week, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get back on track, but we've played 8 games. Yes, we're 2-6, and we're going to try to explain a little bit of why we're 2-6. And we're going to start, ladies and gentlemen, with our position grades. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to go position by position and give you our grades of that position. A couple of reasons why we feel it is that way. And then after we get through position groups, so offense, we'll give a grade for offense. Defense, we'll give a grade for defense. And special teams, which we just got off talking about, we'll give you a grade for that as well. So, forgive me. Will, I am coming to you first. Position grades, we are starting with quarterbacks. Will, what you got?
Yeah, so this is kind of a tough one to grade because we're grading the guy we didn't want to grade. I mean, the guy we brought in to be our starting quarterback went out in week 1. And so we haven't, we've had 8 games of not having our starter. So I gave Taylor Heineke a C for the year, for the half season. I feel like obviously he's not consistent in play. He's showing himself to be a backup. He's not consistent in what he does, but there are moments, there are plays, and there are things he does that he can either be electric and he can be dynamic and move the offense. And I think we just need to cater more to that. I think you're seeing if you want him to be a drop back, stay in the pocket, you're not giving him a chance to succeed. But if you're rolling him out, if you're moving him around, if you're designing run plays with him, keeping him active, keeping the defense on their toes, you're giving him a chance to succeed. So as a backup right now for us, I feel he hasn't been too bad. And so my grade is a C.
Ab, what you think, man?
D-, bro.
Wow.
For real. Oh my goodness. Like,
you can't wait to get that out.
No, like I see no positives in this. Like the only positive is that he, like you said, he was a backup. And that's the way we're grading him as. But then at the same time, he's on an NFL team. And I disagree with what you were saying about you don't see the difference between him and Mitch Trubisky. To me, I do. I think Mr. Trubisky can actually throw the ball and it actually go down the field and hit people and be somewhat consistent. I don't think Heineke is consistent. I think Heineke is lucky, and I just don't like the way he plays. I really don't like this throw the ball up in the air and be like, oh, Terry down there somewhere, and then and then all of a sudden he walks like he did something. No, man, no. It's not how you play football. Like, I can recall probably 3 passes that he did that exact same thing. Just throw the ball up and said, F it. Terry's down there somewhere. And that's what it is. And I'm just like, this is horrible. And it's not consistent either. To me, I think part of being a good quarterback, and I didn't even say great quarterback, good quarterback, consistency. And he's not. I think his throwing motion is labored. I think it takes too much for him to throw the simplest of balls. Like, I don't think he can throw 40 yards downfield. I really don't think so. So D- straight up. And that is only because he is a backup.
Whew. Hey, look, I respect it. Look, I am not going to sway that far off from you. I give him a D+. And the reason why I do that, I take into account that he is the backup. But like you said, Ab, look, this is guy what we all supposedly been waiting for. This is the guy everybody's been hyping up coming in. Oh, well, look what he did in the game of the team we're playing next, Tampa Bay. Oh, he did this great thing. He should be this and this and that. Look, it's not an F because he did bring us back in 2 games to win the game. He drove us down. He has had some moments where he's like, oh my goodness. Now, the reason it's a D+ because I go to that Giants game, he also threw an interception that caused us to be in the position that we were in. You know what I mean? The Falcons game, he had that pass to he got bailed out. He got bailed out by McKissick on that pass to him because, like we've all talked about, looked, nobody was open. So let's throw it across our bodies, which we've all said was no.
That is
somehow worked.
Never go. No one. Patrick Mahomes don't even do that. I'm trying to tell you this. I'm sorry, Sean, but that is the lucky that I'm talking about. And another play is the Falcons game where I just made the example. He just threw it up into the end zone, and Terry, he's like, "F it, Terry's over there," and that was a touchdown. That was some of the luckiest stuff that I've ever seen in my life, man.
Yeah, he can't. I don't feel like he can continue doing that stuff. Look, at the end of the day, if we're gonna simply grade him on the fact that he came in potentially unprepared, he did not know that Fitz was going to be out all this time. He came in with the team that he had. He's had to deal with injuries. Samuel hasn't played all year. I'll give him credit for that. But we're talking about a leader on our team. Okay? You came in, you knew you were going to be the guy. After week 1, the shock and the should have weared off. You should have known I'm the guy. Now I need to prepare like it. You got 2 victories, but you also got 6 defeats. And some of those games we should have won. I go back to that Broncos game. We should have won. Go back to that Saints game. We should have won. Shoot, we can go back to the first game he came in against the Chargers. We could have won that game. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is he's had opportunities to put us in positions to do it, and he has also taken us out of some of those opportunities. So I can't go any farther than a D+. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Ab, I'm gonna come to you first on this one. The next position on this list, Ab, what do you think, man?
Is it running back?
Yeah, I'm putting it up right now.
So running back. So Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, and Jared Patterson. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little let down by this position too. I'm more disappointed because I actually expected a lot out of this position, and I am like, and I think, and to me, I think you live and you start by your starting running back, and it's been a letdown for Gibson. And I understand he's hurt, and I don't know, like, if we should add that into the grading or not. But I think you almost have to. I do think you have to. When the second string running back is outshining the first string running back, you got issues. I can't give C-. I say C-. And honestly, it'd probably be worse than that if we didn't have J.D. McKissick. It's like this position is definitely a letdown. And to be honest, I was expecting y'all know me, I was expecting stuff out of Jared Patterson too. And he just, I mean, granted, he's doing the best he can they don't give him a lot of touches, but when he does get touches, he's still not doing a lot either. So
yeah,
C-, guys.
Mm-hmm. Will, what you think, man?
So yeah, I mean, I have to echo a lot of what you said. I might have been slightly nicer in my grading, but equally as disappointed in what the group was. Going into the season, we thought this would be our A group.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that we were going to rely on Gibson and he was going to take the next step, and McKissick would be the third down and make all kinds of first downs and whatnot. And I gave him overall a B because I feel like when we run the ball, when we commit to it, they are doing something. Gibson still continues to fall forward. Mm-hmm. He has guys jumping on him. He takes 2 or 3 guys sometimes. But the problem is he's had 4 fumbles this year.
Yep.
He's been dinged a little bit. But more for me, what frustrates me, it's the same thing that seems to frustrate him. We create lanes, and he starts getting a burst, and he gets tripped up. Mm-hmm. Or he gets shoelace tackle. It's like he's so close to breaking these. And it happened last year too. And even at times, I think, we got to remember he still is young at running back, but there are times he picks holes, and they show plays later on, and it's like, he didn't see everything enough, and so it is disappointing. He's averaging, he's at 500 yards rushing this year. He's going to make it to 1,000, good chance, which at one point, that was the barometer of a good season.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only right now. He's averaging 55 yards rushing a game.
Yeah.
That's not what we need. We need more than that. And so it's like he's averaging a pretty poor, like unimpressive 55 yards a game. But like you said, McKissick's been great. I love the dude. He gets the ball and he runs hard. I love that. And, so I love having him around. I hope he sticks around. But I think there's a chance for them to really improve. But, yeah, so I was generous in my grading of a B, but they've been a massive disappointment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good. Yeah. What's up?
I need to add this part too. Just like you to touch on what Will was saying. He was saying that they're that was supposed to be our A team, and honestly, Sean, the flow of the game.
Go Deuce, baby. We're the best backfield in Herndon, baby. That's right.
Let's go. Let's go.
Thunder and lightning, baby. Let's go.
Oh man, the flow of the if you control the ball by running the ball, then you don't have to throw the ball often. Yeah. And I think that was what we really thought that we were going to be doing. That was going to be our game plan. Just a 1-2 hit with McKissick and Gibson, and that way Heineke doesn't have to throw 40 times a game. But since we're not able to run the ball efficiently, consistently, then that means the ball game is left to Heineke. Heineke is left to put the game on his back, and thus he's he's the one that's having to do so much in this game, and that's why. And it's not fair to him. That's what's happening, but it is what's happening. Yeah. And I know we're going to be grading the coaches soon, but the coaches should be the ones saying, this is what's happening, and this is why we may not be winning the games. We're not controlling the ball like we should be, and we're depending too much on Heineke when we should be depending on our experienced runners. And that's what's not happening. That's what's not happening right now. And we need to change that. And the flow of the game needs to change. And it should not go through Heineke.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I think that's an excellent point.
Yeah.
I think you are so spot on. But part of it I think is happening is we're playing from behind. Yeah. What was the last time? I think was it the Broncos game that I hear? That was the first opening drive of the game that we didn't give up a touchdown. Yeah. And you're so right. Like when you start playing from behind, then you abandon your game plan and freak out too. Where like if this is your strength, especially with all of our injuries that we'll get to, but like if this is your strength of your team, you almost got to say 10-0's not a problem. Yeah, we will claw our way back.
Right. And again, I can't say it any more clearly than you said it, Ab. I mean, I think our running game directly affects Heineke and all that. The fact that he has to run around and do all that is because he can't count on the running game. Will, I go back to what you said. Look, I gave them a C+. And the reason why I did that is because McKissick, be honest with you, McKissick, his hands, he keeps us in games. He seems to, even in the running game, he's picked some holes and he's doing good. And McKissick is good. And Gibson isn't doing bad, but he's had some costly and timely fumbles that it's just like, come on, Gibson. Like and it's like you were saying, Will, like you'll see and he'll bust some runs and it's like, oh, one guy to beat, make a move and you're gone, and he gets tripped up. Or he's like busted through the hole and you just get tripped up by those one. And look, Ab, we just joked about running backs. We know there's one thing that they told us as a running back. Don't you get tackled by no arm tackle. If they're putting their arms trying to pull your legs down, you better step on that hand. I'm not saying step on it, but make sure they don't do it again.
They told us, they were like, pick up your feet, like literally just pick up your feet. Like there's no reason for that.
Yeah.
And that I think they need to drill that more. You know what I'm saying? What they had the elevated ladders for us, Sean, where we that practice our stepping and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. Why aren't they practicing that with them? I'm sorry. Maybe they are. I don't know. But if they were doing it more, if they were focusing on that more, you get what I'm saying? Then, like, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't seem like they are paying attention to what they're not good at and targeting it to try to get it better. And it's kind of sad. It really is.
It is. It is. And because this is, like we've discussed, this is kind of the bread and butter. We start with the run. We play action off of it. This is what we do. This is what we're known for in the past. Like we have a good running game. This is something that we're very disappointed in. Patterson as well. I mean, he hasn't got the touches, and maybe, that's in the play scheme, whatever, what have you. But this is somewhere where we definitely felt we should have been in a better position. And the fact that we're not right now, and it definitely has some kind of effect on the rest of the offense. It definitely has it. And we're going to go ahead and move on real quick. And I'm going to start with this one. The next position, ladies and gentlemen, is a position that, hey, on this show, if you've watched this show, we have talked about this position left and right. We have been all over this. We have argued this position, all over. Put it in the there it is. Nope, that's not the phone. There it is. I will go first on this. Wide receivers, ladies and gentlemen, I give them a C. I could go worse, but I do think that all things considering, we haven't had Samuel all year. We haven't had Logan Thomas all year, who can be definitely Logan Thomas, but Samuel you can make a case that he probably would have been one of our better receivers. With that being said, like I really kind of feel like we should be doing a lot more. I think we put a lot of time into Terry McLaurin, and everybody, is hyped on him, and obviously justifiably so. We jumped on him not being in the top 100, and he's that guy. He's proven it to us, but I just don't feel like anybody else has really shown up. We talked AGG, Cam Sims, we talked Humphries and how we feel about him. We talked a lot of these guys, and Samuel, obviously, it makes a difference that he's not on the field, but this is another one of those positions that we needed to be a lot better at, and I think we have struggled. We've struggled. So I give him a straight C. I'm trying to be hopeful, but that's where I'm at. Will, what do you think, man?
I agree with everything that you said, and because of that, I've given them an F.
Oh.
That we've got Terry has been Terry. He is consistent. He's on pace to have another 80 catches, 900 to 1,000 yards. He's incredible. He's such a good player, but that's all we have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an F because our top signing in free agency played one game and got himself hurt again.
Yep.
And hasn't played. Our draft pick, who we put a lot of hopes in, hasn't been effective on the field, and now he's been hurt, so he's not helping. So our second leading receiver is Adam Humphries with 20 catches, and that's not getting it done. Nah. If you got Adam Humphries as your second receiver, that is not the role that he is brought in to do, and your team is not going to be successful. And that's where we're at. I envisioned Humphries to be that third down, move the chains guy, and he's had a couple big catches, but not enough. Nothing much. Like you said, where is Cam Sims this year? Yeah. How do you go from being our second leading receiver last year to absolutely nothing this year? Did Alex Smith just trust you and just say, hey, I know what you're doing, and this quarterback doesn't? But we have Terry and we have nothing else. And we're at the point now where the defenses aren't concerned about anybody else in the field but Terry. And now we're relying on folks like love what he's done this year, but DeAndre Carter to play wide receiver. And that's not a recipe for success. So, right now the wide receivers are not getting it done the way we needed them to change from last year to this year. So I graded him pretty hard into that.
Well, let's see that. Ab, what you think, man?
So I'm gonna just. I'm with Will. Like I'm saying the F too, because I don't look. There's Terry, and it's not fair to grade Terry as a Washington football wide receiver. You get what I'm saying? So it's not fair to do that. Like he's consistent, and honestly, he gives us what we expect: those 80 receptions and 1,000 yards a season. And this is for another time, but I'll just say this, which is going to cause us to overpay for him. But I digress. Give me a second. Just to jump on what Will is saying, it's everybody else is not up to par, and it's not fair to Terry that he has all these running mates not holding their end of the bargain.
Yep.
Like I don't know if I don't know if you guys think of it like this, but imagine if there was someone equally or not just a step off or two lower in talent than Terry on the other side of the field. Mm-hmm. You know, so the defense can respect that side of the field also. How much more Terry would be, how much better Terry would be. Right. And I think of that often. I think of it and I'm just like, this man would probably have a good 1,500 yards of 100 receptions a year if the defense is respected the other side of the field like they do on his side. And it's crazy to me that the team doesn't see that, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're abusing Terry, and I don't like it one bit. I say an F because I don't look at Terry as a wide receiver, at a Washington wide receiver. I look at him as the offense. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, you're absolutely right. And Samuel, I mean, that was the person that was supposed to be the one that lightened the load for Terry. But like you said, well, he's only been in one game and he got re-injured himself. So, you know, I mean, what can you say? What can you say? But hey, we are going to move on. Wow, I see where we're all standing here. That was harsh. I thought I was being harsh. Well, no, C was a little high. I'll say that.
You were generous.
I was being generous. Yo, Ab, I'm coming back to you. Tight end. Position grade.
I don't have a good thing to say about this damn team, man. Not one bit, man. Tight ends, Ricky Seals-Jones. We talked Logan Thomas. Same as Reyes hasn't been out there. John Bates barely's been out there. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't think they trust their tight ends. You know what I'm saying? Even before Logan Thomas got hurt, he wasn't getting any love either. So other than a few games Ricky Seals-Jones has done, like, you know what I'm saying? Like where, like, you know what I'm saying, where he's shown out, there hasn't been much production from them, not one bit. And D. Like, my answer is D until further notice for like all these positions. I can't see anything good about anybody. Like Ricky Seals-Jones had that, like he had a good game, and then he had that one touchdown. And like, you know what I'm saying, that touchdown catch, which was awesome. But other than that, you haven't seen much from this tight end group. I'll say D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Will, what you got, man?
Yeah. So overall, and I just changed it. I was nicer than what I am right now. I'm giving them a C. Mm-hmm. I had given them a B only, and I was looking at it, and that's, you know, we're just kind of thinking about it. So first off, there's a big caveat. Our starting tight end hasn't been there the entire season. You know, he is a major part of our offense, and that's been a big change. And so as a result, you now have a very predictable tight end unit where John Bates is blocking and Ricky Seals-Jones is going out for passes. Mm-hmm. With that being said, Seals Jones has been one heck of a surprise and one heck of a pickup, and he has been very serviceable as in that role. But if Ricky Seals Jones is your starting tight end on a team that doesn't have wide receiver talent besides one guy, you've got a problem. And so we've got a problem. So I feel like I'm still being generous by giving them a C. Partly of that is because we don't have our starter out there. Like I said, I love what Seals Jones has contributed to us, but that's not good enough to what we need. And John Bates has been a blocker and nothing more than a blocker. So that's, he's young, but we need more.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. And I you guys are gonna get upset with me about this because I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna give them an incomplete because Logan.
How do you grade them incomplete? You grade the quarterback and the quarterback.
Why didn't you give wide receivers an incomplete? If that's your excuse. You know what I'm saying?
Two guys were expected. Thank you for getting us fired up, Sean.
Wide receivers has a couple guys that have been it. Look, this is what I'm saying. Logan Thomas is obviously the bread and butter of our tight end game. Ricky Seals Jones, like he said, has had a couple good moments, but other than that, I've gone back and looked through at the tight ends, and outside of just blocking, you don't see much out of them. Ricky Seals Jones had those, moments in the games, and one good game and the one great catch, for the touchdown. But outside of that, it's like what can I judge you guys on? I don't really know. So if I had to give him a grade, this is where I would go F, because it's like I like what Ricky Seals Jones, and I appreciate that. But like you said, Will, if he is the number one guy, if he's your leader at tight end, it's like, that's not a good sign at all. So I would go F, but I want to go incomplete if I can. Can you F? It's an F. All right, I didn't want to give him an F.
There you go. You might as well give the whole damn team incomplete if that's your reasoning. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? Like,
the entire offense is incomplete. Right. Have not got a chance to get
running back incomplete because he's running on one leg. So incomplete. So what are you talking about?
They failed. They got an F. Y'all push me to it. All right. Until Logan Thomas gets back, they get an F. And again, they haven't shown me anything. I kind of feel, this is a precursor to the conversation we're going to have later about, judging the rookies. John Bates, I really don't have anything to put to judge him on. You know what I mean? A couple blocks here and there. He really has. I haven't seen much at it. And Samus Reyes as well. You know what I mean? Like I've seen him in the offseason. I've seen him in preseason, but I haven't really seen him in game time action. So, I give them an F because they really have been non-existent. They really have been non-existent for us, and I think that's a big, big deal, especially with how well Logan Thomas did a year ago. All righty, and we are going to move on to the next segment. Will, who did I come to first last time?
Me.
Yeah, so Will, I'm coming to you. Will, coming to you. O-line.
All right, so I'm going to surprise you with this, and I'm going to show my Redskins homer.
There we go.
I'm giving our O-line an A because they have well outperformed my expectations. I didn't have a whole lot of I don't think they're spectacular, but I don't think they suck. So maybe that should be a C. Truthfully, saying that out loud.
Yeah, because I've never been in a class where I turned an unspectacular grade paper, and then all of a sudden, this is an A. Good job.
Hey, just give it incomplete. Give it incomplete. All right.
This is coming from a C student, just so you know.
I think, and so I guess I think you're right. Yeah, it should be a C. I guess I didn't have high expectations. Charles Leno, I had no good thoughts on, and he hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been spectacular the way Trent Williams was. But he hasn't been terrible. Yes. Does he give up sacks? Yes. Has he given up some plays? Yes. But, they're all doing that these days, and so Leno's been all right. Our Flowers has been good. Roulier. The big surprise for me, and maybe this is why I'm like, oh, I'll give him an A. I really thought we needed Brandon Sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one on here who kept saying, like, nope, nope. If you're going to have him, he makes your team better. Let's have him. Let's pay him the money. Let's do it. Brandon Sheriff has left. It got injured, and I didn't really see much of a drop off with Wes Schweitzer in there.
Mm-hmm.
So to the point where it's like, all right, well, kind of knowing going in next year, Sheriff, you can walk. We can replace what you do. And Cosby started off. He had a rough game in his first game of the season, but then he was really, I felt, putting it together. So I was like, overall they kind of patched it together. They're not spectacular, but they've outplayed my expectations. So I guess that's why I was being such a homer in my grading of it.
Yeah, what you think, man?
I like what Will was saying. Like so I'm gonna give them an incomplete. So
you can't grade them because Roulier is out for the season, so it's unfair to be grading.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't grade them like I want to grade them.
Look, I can't grade them at all because they don't have my 14 guys like in the off season. All right.
So I think I'll give them a C plus. Because they're doing a respectable job, and the reason why, and tell you all truth, if there's no offense, it's hard to judge an offensive line. Like if you can't judge an offensive line correctly with a bad quarterback. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like there's no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they let this guy he got sacked 4 times. And that's going to go against the offensive line, but not against the quarterback. Like, come on, like we really. I just like it's hard because especially since we graded Heineke's like so bad, or I did. You know what I'm saying? Like I just like you. It's hard to judge the offensive line like that. But like Will was saying, they've been in there. They've been consistent. That's my biggest thing, consistent. And Brandon Sheriff has been out for a minute, and they've been doing okay without him. And I've been saying from jump that this dude can leave, and like for us to try to pay him $18 million just to get hurt 4 or 5 games out of the year, bro, get out of here. So I respect what you're doing, offensive line. I really do. Like you're just like Will said, like didn't have an expectation so much, but I do respect what you're doing. And so C plus, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, and for those points, that's I gotta go C2 because of the fact that I believe they're not bad. They're not Bakhtiari and those guys that you have in those, they're not dominant. A lot of those times, he's not getting rushed every time. He's throwing those. Part of the reason why we get upset with him, with Tyler Heinicke, is because he's messing some of that stuff up. He has protection from time to time. You know what I'm saying? He has a decent little setup. So C is good, and I think it got a little better after Sheriff went out because of continuity. They had to. They leaned on each other. If we're going individuals, obviously we can look at Cosme and some of his errors, and Leno not really being much, and Roulier being out is obviously an issue. But overall, I say you can give him a C, and I think it would be higher if the QB was higher. If maybe they had a little help, but I think the fact that Taylor does what he does, and I think it actually kind of hurts the O-line and some of the protections and them trying to figure out what's he doing back there. So I'm with you. So now we just finished the whole offense. So we're going to give a cumulative grade of what we think the offense is right now. Ab, I'm coming to you. Total offense, what is the grade you give them?
D.
Ooh.
D minus. Yeah, that's not good, man. Collectively, like it's just not good. You know what I'm saying? The offense is not good. They have their moment. And here's a stat that is part of the reason why too. But is it the last 2 games they put up almost 800 yards, 400 yards a game, and only 10 points a game at that. How do you do that?
Yep.
How do you do 400 yards a game, but only put 10 points a game up? Like, that doesn't make sense. So there's something not clicking there. And honestly, offense altogether, yeah, D-, man.
Yeah. I don't think you can go any higher than a D-. I mean, we could be on. We like you said, we haven't scored 14 points in the last 3 outings. You know what I mean? And when we scored it late against the Saints in the 4th one before that. You know what I mean? So we're not getting it done, and it's hard to judge them any higher than that.
Nope.
Will, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, I went D+. So we're talking semantics. Minus, plus, whatever. Yeah, it's a D. They're not getting it done.
Yeah.
But I will have some stats for you when we start talking about coaches that are going to surprise you about the offense. So let me go last.
Okay.
In that segment.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, man. We've seen how we feel on the offensive side of the ball, but now we're going to go to the side that we all felt was our savior. We all felt this was going to be the thing that was going to put us head and shoulders above the rest. And I'm going to go ahead, put it in there. The thing that the line that we thought was going to be the game changer. Defensive line. I'm going to be harsh. F. I know Deron Payne is playing good, swept before the injury. He, them, 6 and 4 sacks. The rest of the team, rest of that D-line, Chase Young has tremendously underachieved. And from what we expected. And look, we're not these random. My God, they're the best because everybody else says they're the best. No, we did the research. We watched them in the offseason. We watched the work. We expected more, and they have tremendously underachieved. So I gotta go with an F on this. And hopefully they'll use this to, motivate them to go better. But I'm like, no way. I cannot do it. From what we expected, this is awful for me. Will, what do you think?
Yep, I agree with a lot of what you said. The only reason I'm giving them a D is because of John Allen. He's had a monster season.
Yeah.
And I was really worried, would he really live up to that contract? Or did we just sign this guy because he's a good player on our team and he's a locker room leader but is he really going to be like the Fletcher Cox type player? Dude has 6 sacks and 8 tackles for losses to lead our team. Jonathan Allen has been outstanding this year. And his counterpart right next to him, Deron Payne, he's not a pass rush guy, but he's a claw up the middle. He's a run stuffer, and he's been doing that. If you notice, we have not been getting gashed in the run game the way we did last year. Our D-line is not leaving some of these bigger holes that linebackers are either filling or not filling, whoever. And so that has been an improvement. But a disappointment along that D-line is Matt Iannitis. But prior to his injury last year, he was actually being viewed as our best pass rushing defensive tackle. I think he had 8 sacks in back-to-back years, maybe. Does he have a half a sack right now? Does he have one? Does he have any?
It's a half a sack.
It's a half a sack. He really hasn't had that much of an impact. Montez Sweat with 4 sacks. He's a little shy of his anticipated 20, 21 on the year. So we're kind of struggling there. We're not trending in the right direction with a broken jaw either. So that's not going to help. He's made some plays, but like you said, we anticipated Sweat and Young coming off the edge every play, causing early throws, allowing our corners to make plays, being the heart and soul of our defense, and they just have not gotten it done. So yeah, I went D on this one.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, what do you think, man?
Will, you said D. Okay. It's I'm sorry. I should have probably had this stuff already already listed out before I got here, but no, I think I honestly I can understand where you guys are coming from. I really do. And so this is what troubles me. Do I blame the defensive line for their inefficiencies, or do I blame the coaching for the play calls? You know what I'm saying? I'm more of blaming the coaches for why they aren't doing well. And I don't like and then I saw this stat where we lined up Sweat and Young on opposite ends last year, and that's probably why that they're not doing as well as they are doing. I like they were trying to fix something that wasn't broken, and to me, there's something wrong with that. There's like it was working last year, but they wanted to get cute with it. Like let's switch the sides and see if this and that. When it wasn't working, then they should have switched them back. But it doesn't seem like they changed up anything. I firmly believe it's the coaching. But I honestly, I'll say a C. I really, for what's going on, it's a C. I'm not a person that judges an interior lineman just by their sacks. Like that's not me. I can't sit there and like if they get sacks, great. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's awesome. But to me, I don't think that's not what I like. That's where I'm judging them at. Like, honestly, I like how Jonathan Allen is becoming that Fletcher Cox kind of defensive tackle. I do like that. I really do, especially since we're really not getting as much from Chase Young and Sweat. Yeah, I say a C. I think they have it. I think they're doing okay. I just think it's the play calling and they don't let these guys go. And just to touch up on what we said earlier is that they see these guys are doing something wrong, but they don't tell them. They don't try to fix it. And the reason why I say that is because they do it every week. If they were coaching these guys up like they should be, you wouldn't see it every week. You wouldn't see it like chip blocks. That's one thing about Chase Young. He gets chip blocked. And they were like, oh, he shouldn't be caught in these chip blocks all the time. Show him how to shed these chip blocks. Like show him what he should be doing. Why isn't that a focal point at practice? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense that for every game he's getting chip blocked, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's all of a sudden irrelevant on the play now. So, see, guys.
See? Yes. There we go. And to move on to another position that's, directly to that. You on this one, linebackers.
Y'all gonna hate me on this.
Yeah.
I think it's incomplete.
Yeah.
I mean,
John Boston's been out.
Jamin Davis hasn't been on the field that much, you know. Like,
what am I judging?
No, so okay. So do we Landon Collins? Do we judge him as a linebacker or do we judge him as a safety? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to
both.
You can do both?
You can say, last two games, basically, he's been linebacker.
Okay, so leading tackler on the team, Holcomb. You know what I'm saying? Person after that is Landon Collins. To me, linebackers should have linebackers should have the most tackles on the team. Definitely should have the most tackles. Honestly, we thought that would have been a Jamin Davis by this time. You know what I'm saying? We really thought that was what happened. I think Jamin Davis brings the grade down for linebackers as a whole because he's just not doing anything. And I think he started like the last game or the game before, and like they finally put him out there. But there was a good amount of time where he didn't even play 10-20% of the plays, guys. Excuse me. And I think that's something that you really, really should be concerned about, especially when Bostic got hurt. Why? Like, honestly, put him out on the field. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, F his feelings. Put him out on the field. Like, but for whatever reason, they didn't. And that can only that tells me one thing. He's not good enough to be on the field. It's the same thing with Sammy Reyes. He's not good enough to be put on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were boasting about this guy. They put him on the 53-man roster, but he's yet to be active in the game. So I just, to me, I'll say I'm gonna say C, guys. I really do, and it's only because of Landon Collins and Holcomb. It looks like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, especially just from a stats point of view. The numbers. I mean, yeah, I'm just like, I think there's more to the defense being blown out than the linebackers, just the linebackers in general. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Holcomb has 73, Landon Collins has 54. So, and I mean, you double that, and that's their numbers for the year. That's crazy, guys. Like, like, to me, you know how we judge a running back 1,000 yards is what's good and everything like that. Linebacker or safety that gets 100 tackles, that's the standard. Like, that's the gold star right there, is 100 tackles. And these guys are about to blow that out. So, I said C. Yeah.
Yep. What you think, man?
I got an F. I think they were a sore part of our season last year, and they've been a sore part of our season this year. Third down, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 15, throw the ball over the middle. Our linebackers can't cover, and they're going to give it up. I think it hurts having John Bostic out again. I'm really surprised that we put in Jamin Davis to play middle linebacker. I really thought he should have played more outside linebacker, just let the dude run, let him use his instincts as opposed to, and kind of like what you said, Ab, they're like, okay, he's not playing wide, and then a lot of from what I've been seeing or reading, it's all about like he's having to think so much out there at middle linebacker, and there's a huge difference between Kentucky and the pros, and it's been a slow growth for him. And so, I mean, I've seen signs of encouragement. Landon Collins, the last 2 games, has been definitely a playmaker up there, and maybe moving him up there and not letting him cover anyone on the field will continue to increase and make them play better. But as of right now, for a whole half a year, I think that our linebackers have been atrocious.
Now, I'm gonna go D, and the only reason I'm gonna go D, my guy Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb, where'd he come from? North Carolina. Don't turn up your face because you know where he came from. You already shouted him out at over 70 tackles, and he's gonna get 150. Let's get it, okay? Landon and Landon Collins coming down in the last 2 weeks. We can't. I mean, honestly, I would go incomplete because Bostic out. And like you said, they're atrocious. They're terrible. But Cole Holcomb is getting the job done. He's consistent. And I honestly think them putting Landon Collins down there and having him like Leroy Butler coming from deep into the box, I think that's going to be right where he's at. Just like what's the boy from Seattle? Jamal Adams. You know what I mean? Something like that. Have him come up, play against the line. We saw what happened last game when he did that. He made a couple big plays in the run game and that quick little screen game that they had going on. So I definitely think that's something positive, and that's why I'm not going as far down as you will, but everything else is bad. Everything else is really bad. I can't say any. I mean, I want to just be positive as much as I can, and I love Cole Holcomb and everything like that. But this is another place that we focused on all season. We already had an issue once we got to the 53-man roster and how many people they kept. You know what I mean? So we kind of saw that they were not stacking the box with this. They weren't building it up. We need to address this again. We got to address this. We got to get more people. Jamin Davis, like you said, he's not on the field, and it's not just because he doesn't want to. It's because he ain't ready for that, And then and I don't know. And I hate to bring up Dallas, but damn, I wish we had a Michael Parsons, somebody like that, that's saying, "Please let me get on the field, Coach. I'm begging you to get on the field." That to me is like, okay, I'll take that. I hate to reference that, Janae. That's as much as you're gonna get from me on my show. Stop it. But I mean, I definitely we talked about this, guys. We talked about it. How this is what we needed. We used the first pick in the draft to get this guy among a bunch of other guys that we thought we wanted to get, or that we studied that we wanted to get. He has not proven it, and we will definitely talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I got to give him a D. But I kind of feel like this is like, Ab, you said, Terry McLaurin, you don't want to judge him with the rest of the receivers. I don't want to judge my guy, Cole Holcomb, with the rest of the linebackers. He could be just like a hybrid. Can I just judge him alone? A+. The North Carolina takeover is starting. All right. The revolution will be televised. Let's get it. Let's go. So we have to move on to our secondary. We're going to start with one of the guys we actually just talked about. We put it in here at safety. We're going to talk about our safety, our strong safety and free safety, and how they've been doing. Ab, what do you? I'm going to come back to you. What do you think, man?
I honestly think this is probably the best position on our defense. Because I know everyone's like crapping on Landon and everything like that, but Landon and Curl, both these guys, so Collins has 54, Curl has 45 tackles. So let's just say that, the fact that they are trying to hold this down. And I want to put this out here. I do not think our defense is good at one bit. And I think part of the blame is the plays that are being called. I really do. So when I grade these things, I'm trying my best not to emphasize too much of the coaching into my grade, or include too much of the coaching into my grade. So this is the best position on our defense, and I'm going to say C right here for safeties, guys.
I like that. Will, what do you think?
Yeah, I have a C as well, and the only reason I have him with C is because we moved Landon Collins out of safety and didn't let him cover anybody because he was terrible in coverage. Terrible. My biggest problem with this group is, and it comes with Cameron Curl this year, they're okay. Bobby McCain is okay. We don't have a ball hawk at safety. We don't have anybody back there that's going to scare the corner. I mean, the quarterback into, can I go deep because, Bobby McCain might run over there and out jump my receiver. We don't have that guy. We don't have a safety that's going to hit somebody and make them scared to go over the middle, which that's kind of being taken out of the game anyway. But these two guys, Cam Curl had a really good rookie year, and he made plays. He was a playmaker. And neither one of these guys are making plays out there. I think of the two, Curl still shows the most talent, most promise, ability to cover the best. They've been to me all year. And I don't get it, because I heard Ron talked about it in the bye week. name a player that doesn't get enough recognition for playing well, and he said Bobby McCain. To me, it's like I don't want Bobby McCain on the team next year. I'd much rather just let's replace him with somebody else because we've seen him. He's but so I went C, but it's like I'm not happy giving them a C.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not going to be nice. D plus. All right. And the main reason is because of what you said with Landon Collins. We took him out of that safety. We literally brought him from safety to linebacker because he was doing so bad. Look, I like McCain at Curl. We saw what he did last year. These guys have been playing poor. I feel like we're the defense when they use that cliche, take what the defense gives you. They're talking about us. They're gonna give you stuff, so just take it. You don't have to do much. We'll give it to you. And Ab, we talked about this. I talked about this personally all off season and coming into preseason. Bend but don't break. No, we're broken. We're broke back. Okay, we're not bending anymore. We're broke. I mean, it is what it is. Hey, look, when you get 2-6 and you have to go on your other show, and the Cowboys fan is sitting here having all her fans jump on you and everything, I succeed. I'm done. All right. Look, I'm not a part of his expectations. We got McCain. Collins was supposed to be coming back this year. Curl had an amazing year last year. This was it. All right, let's go. This is supposed to be another position that, hey, the ball hawks, exactly like you said, but it's just kind of like everybody, they're just taking whatever the offense is doing. They're just they're ready. And we have not started to succeed with a Landon Collins until we took him basically out of that position and made him into a hybrid linebacker. You know what I mean? And that succeeded. So I really can't give the credit. That's one reason why I don't put it at C, because I can't give the credit to the safety group for what one of the safeties is doing in a linebacker group. You know what I mean? I don't know. I got to give him a D plus. I think that we definitely were excited about them, but they leave a lot to be desired.
So you guys are crapping on my man Landon Collins, and I'm not saying it's not justified, but I think, to me, you guys just got done saying that our linebackers are horrible, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. To me, safety is like that safeguard. Unless there's certain plays designated for them to cover somebody, they're not really covering anybody. They are making sure there's no home runs going past them. And to me, it's just I don't see, if our linebackers are bad and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, Landon Collins is going to be in the box more in there, and he probably has more area that he needs to cover because of how bad the linebackers are being. You know what I'm saying? You can't play two positions on the field at the same time. I'm good because of how good you are, Sean. You get what I'm saying? We're only as good as the next person next to us. How can Landon Collins be the sole reason why that position group is so bad?
He gets toasted on deep plays,
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gets toasted out there when trying to cover people. I mean, that's been his MO, I mean, here's why I say why our safeties suck. We are 29th overall in yards allowed per game at 389 per game. We are 29th in defense overall because we average 28 points. We allow 28 points per game. Our passing defense is atrocious. We're 11th overall in rushing D, and we talked about how our rushing defense has been pretty good this year. We're not getting these huge chunk runs, but I mean, we get crushed except for the last two games. We were giving up a deep ball every single game. I mean, think back to that New Orleans Saints game. Think back to how Justin Herbert carved us up. Think back to how every single quarterback carved up our defense, and they carved us up deep. I think our safeties don't scare anyone, and they're willing to just say, "All right, let's go deep. We got a chance. Let's go."
Well, one, I think it's the wrong play being called. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a chess game when you play football. I really think they have these packages built and then they don't expect these plays that are being thrown at them. I've wholeheartedly believe this. And they play softer than they should be. They don't put any pressure onto the part of the reason why we're so good at our running defense is because we don't put any pressure like at all on these quarterbacks. Like, so we're staying home all the damn time. Like there's no fluctuation in play calling, like literally soft coverage, soft coverage, soft coverage. And then we're playing this defense that is like bend but don't break. But just like you said, Sean, we on the mountain right now, broke back. Like it's bad, man. And to me, I don't think you just blame. I would blame the cornerbacks before I blame the safeties. That's just me. That is just me, because they have to literally go through the cornerbacks, through the linebackers, and then to the safeties. There's different areas of the field they have to go through before he even gets to the safety. So like that's just how I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't disagree with you. If you said secondary, then I'd be like, okay, well, you have a valid point. But just to say safety, I don't think it's fair to just be like, it's the safety's fault why all this is happening and why they are 28th in the league and pass defense.
Speaking of corners, Ab, great for the corners.
I would say F, but I want something worse than the F. I'm gonna say Q. Okay, so a Q. This
incomplete.
Incomplete. I'm giving these guys a Q, guys. Like this is like, you see what these cornerbacks did? They had me and Will disagreeing. Like, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like that's all it is. It's like these cornerbacks got us all messed up. I like the potential of Juice. I love the potential of Juice. I even say Juice is our best cornerback. Yeah. I'll even say that.
Yeah.
But to have Fuller, to have Williams, Jackson, we're paying money, like good money for these guys, just for them to be this bad. And again, I'm really trying my best not to judge them, because I do, like, again, caveat, I do blame the defensive coordinator. I do blame the defensive coordinator. And I've said this to you guys many times. It's the defensive coordinator, defensive coach's job to put these players in positions for them to do well. It's their job to build these group of men and pick the plays, pick the jobs, pick whatever that they're good at, and put them in the right place so that they can be well. They're not doing that right now. Not one bit. And like, so I say Q. That's for the grade is a Q.
Yeah.
But it might be an F. F minus. Okay.
Yeah. Will, do you have anything different? Because I kind of agree with him.
Yeah, I grade him a T. I'm going even lower than a Q. Because you're right. We're paying $20 million or so per, for our two starting corners, and they're terrible out there.
Yeah. Yep.
William Jackson, unfortunately, and I was so excited for the signing, but man, he's getting close to Deion Sanders, Jeff George level right here as some of our worst free agent signings ever. Well, no one can top punt protector Adam Archuleta, but he's getting there. I mean, and some of the things that I don't get, and this will go like, because obviously you and I have some disagreements on the coaching schemes. But here's the problem that I don't understand. If William Jackson is a press man cover, and Kendall Fuller is excels in zone, why are they our starting corners? Why did we sign William Jackson then? If that's the case, like, we're not setting him up for success. If that's the case, if we're asking him to play more zone, and that's not his specialty, if that's not where he excels, then we're not helping ourselves. So that's kind of like the whole off season, free agency. Like, what are we doing if we got this guy that doesn't fit with it very well?
1 second.
Whoa, Nathan.
Yeah, do you see what this man put up here? Jeff George was decent.
Nathan, now you listen right here. Jeff George single-handedly ruined the Washington Redskins franchise and everything that we had going by being brought in here, and he ruined all the chemistry that Brad Johnson and North Turner had created. Now you got me really mad. And what we were ascending.
Come on, Nathan.
And Brad Johnson left and won a Super Bowl, and we have all the turmoil. No. Jeff George, I can't say bad things, but I would not be upset.
Don't do it to him, Bill. Don't do it to him.
Oh man, you got Will flustered over here,
I
Nathan.
can't stand Jeff George. He is such a
his little nostrils just going. Yeah, I'm upset.
Michael Westbrook and Stephen Davis. Nathan, I thought you said Washington was your second team.
Right.
Did you see that team built? I mean, Michael Westbrook had already was pretty good in '99 with Brad Johnson, but once he was falling off, Stephen Davis and Marty Schottenheimer would have been the Derrick Henry and Mike. Who's the coach of the Titans? Mike Vrabel. Yeah. That was what Stephen Davis. That was his bell cow. Yep. Schottenheimer would have loved him. He would have just ridden this guy for 400 carries a year, and we ruined it because Jeff George ruined the team.
Thank you for watching, Nathan.
Yeah.
Even though you're giving us that.
But giant F on the quarters. Everything that you said. They're terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, I don't even talk about it. It's F. It's straight up. It's just poor. It's just poor. And the fact that we spent all that money for William Jackson is just like, all right.
I'm sorry. I want to touch up real quick. You were talking about how why did we get them if they were like opposites and everything like that? That goes to the front office. And that's what I'm saying. The chemistry, like, it's so like we were like, we're all hyped about them getting like a diverse front office and everything like that. But if they don't understand what to get for the team, like what the team is needed on the field, that means they don't communicate well. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense for them to be like, well, we got the best corner out there. But he don't do what we do on defense. Like, so, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not about sometimes it's about the players you get. It really is. But sometimes it's getting the right players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're not necessarily the same thing. They're really not. So like, and just like you guys were talking about you were talking about all the free agents and everything like that. Like, I'm not saying they were the right player. I'm not saying they were like good players, good free agents. They at the time, I'm sure they were, but they weren't the right ones for our team and right ones to fit our team. And to me, people don't understand football is chess, and they want to play Chinese checkers out here. I don't understand it. Like, so it don't make no sense. Like, once people understand that there's so much more thinking to be done in football, they'd be like, okay, and we need to all come together. Like, I'm trying to tell you, I would have everybody on a FaceTime. Like, oh, you don't have an iPhone? You better get you an iPhone so we can have FaceTime all the time and dazzy and get this taken care of. By the way, Sean.
Why is that the example? Why is that the example? Why?
Get an iPhone.
Samsung,
Can we change
you an
iPhone, please?
But so they can, like, you can have them accessible, like, so y'all can see the emotion in my face, and I don't have to go to a computer for Zoom in order to do it. You know what I'm saying? So get you an iPhone, or here's a Redskin issue, or I'm sorry, Washington football team issue iPhone. And you better pick up this phone when we call. And like, just the conversation between the scouts and everything like that, about everyone should be on one page, one accord on what is needed for this football team. What is right for this football team. It doesn't make sense if you get the best cornerback in free agency and he does a totally different thing what you do on defense. It makes no sense.
Think about when the Eagles got all this hype They got Nnamdi Asamoah. I can't remember forgot his name. He was terrible there because it was a completely different scheme that he couldn't do. And he was a huge flop.
Yeah.
You're so right. You're so right.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I'm coming right back to you because we talked about the entire defense. What
well, I gave him a lot of F's in my grade, so it'd be hard for me to say anything other than F, I think.
Yeah.
I got F, 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 and a D, so I think that rounds up to an F.
Yeah. Ab, what do you think?
F minus for real, for real.
I was the positive one in the group. I said a D minus, but it's teetering on the F. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
We the most pessimistic fans,
right? I like to say realistic.
Okay.
Realistic. Let's go,
bro. Okay.
Yo, so we have to go on to the last group on this team, this special team, and we are going to start with something we talked about a little earlier. Kicker. Our kicker. I have to give this. This one honestly being incomplete. I got to give this a D. Okay, Hopkins was terrible. Well, Hopkins wasn't. Blewett. The fact that we signed Blewett I think caves this whole list. I don't. Sly, we're hoping he does right, but like we said before, he was already on the bench. Or he was already a free agent, so he must have got cut by somebody. So look, I go D on this one until they prove otherwise, because it just has not looked good. But it's not an F because we have kicked at least one, with the help of our officials, one game-winning field goal. So for Hopkins, Will, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess I can go D. I'll be nice. I mean, it really is an F, the fact that we're on our third kicker through 8 weeks of the season, and it really is a F by the organization for not having Hopkins get any type of competition and just handing him the job. And it really is an F for the organization to bring in someone who hasn't kicked professionally in 4 or 5 years. So why am I giving him a D? I don't know. Maybe because, the fact that Hopkins was 7 of 8 on his kicks and then we cut him. So you really got to wonder what are we doing out there? I got to go F on the kicking situation this year.
Yeah. What do you think?
You say he's 7 of 8. Like, it seemed like it was a lot worse than that, bro. So I don't know. I think the only stat you need to know is this: the third kicker in half of a season. So we're on our third kicker, and it's not because of injury. So honestly, that's an F right there.
Yeah, it does not look good. However, there's the yin and the yang. One is terrible, and one, I'll start with this one. As a matter of fact, hold up. Where do I have it? Let me see if I have it over here. Here it is.
Cause I'm thinking about the next day. Thinking like, can it be the best day? She looking like she like the way I dress, I be kicking it like my name is Tressway.
Yo, my guy Tressway, give him the A. Every year, he's consistent. He's the guy that we all lean on. If he could be MVP, I'll give it to you every year. Tressway, thank you for your service, sir. You get an A in my book. Ab, what do you think?
Tressway is the only bright light in pretty much on our team, and has been for a while. Like, honestly, like he's the only Pro Bowl. He's 1 out of 2 Pro Bowlers on our team. So yeah, that's it. A, yeah. So and the other Pro Bowler is Jonathan Allen. And I know I didn't say Terry McLaurin. There was a reason why I didn't say Terry McLaurin. So yeah.
You ain't lying. Yeah. Will, what do you think?
Yeah, it's really pretty bad when the best player on your team is your punter. But Tressway is fantastic. So yeah, he's an A. Year in, year out, he's consistent. He booms it. He drops it. by the goal line when you need to. He's awesome. He's amazing, and he's a heck of a holder too. That's big. He's really reliable for those kickers.
Now, do we want to grade Cheeseman, or we want to just wait till our draft picks with that? Because he's technically, he's part of the special teams, but
I don't know how to draft a long snap. I don't know how to grade a long snapper.
Right. So
I don't think he snaps into the ground, so I guess he's been all right.
Right. So I don't know. So with that being said, we can easily go ahead and grade our special teams. Honestly, I'll start. I think it has to be a C. And the only reason, because that's the average of the two grades. You have an A on one side and an F on the other, and the average is out as a C. Is it just what it is? Ab, what do you think?
I think we all agree on that. It's a C because of the average. That's literally it. Like, that's it.
It's like we can't go anywhere else with it. So definitely have to go there with that, ladies and gentlemen. So glad you have joined us. What's his name? Nathan has been here in the comments talking about incomplete, and that's the grade. Yes. Oh, so he asked. So are these front office picks or is it coaching?
So are these front office picks?
It's kind of a little bit of both because our head coach is in charge of our front office as well. So it's definitely,
I don't get the question.
Very concerned.
He was talking about some of the
secondary issues.
Yeah, the secondary issues, the free agent guys we signed, the draft picks from the linebackers. Is it a coaching thing or is it front office picking these guys and they're just picking the wrong guys?
I think they're the same people, and that's what has me really concerned.
Yeah,
but this offseason was terrible.
I think it's both.
Yeah. There it is. Appreciate you watching us, Nathan, and appreciate you giving us legitimate questions and not Jeff George type stuff.
Thanks, Nate.
So we have to move on, and I'm going to come to a segment that I know we all want to touch on. And without further ado, I'm going to give it to you. We're going to go with our coaches' grade. Number one, we'll start with the head. We're going to go with the three. We got Ron, we got Del Rio, we got Turner. Those are the three main entities of this team. So we will start with Ron. Ab, what do you think? Ron Rivera, what's his grade?
I almost feel like he's just delegating responsibilities. I don't even think he coaches, bro. I really don't. Like, it doesn't even seem like he's engaged. Like, it just, like, when he's on the side of the field, he looks so just like not bothered by nothing. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's disheartening just seeing that shit. And I'm like, so it's, to me, I think, like, to me, Ron, like, I don't know what's going on, but he, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's my man. I'm still riding with him. I'm still rocking with him, but it's a D for me, bro. It really is. Like, honestly, good leaders delegate, but when the job's not getting done, that means you need to throw your weight around, and that's when you need to just start getting in people's behind about things,
Mm-hmm. Will, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I'm going to be kind of generous with this grade here, but I'm giving him a C. And the only reason why I'm giving him a C is, as of right now, it does not appear like he has lost the locker room. And at 2-6, with the way we played, with some of the big plays we give up, or just everything the way the season's gone, I could easily see this being like we give up and the players just tune them out, that type of stuff. And it doesn't seem like that's happening yet.
Mm-hmm.
Although, if you all paid attention this past 2 weeks on the stuff he says, he's really, really calling out Chase Young. And I hope he, I fully believe in, he's talked about how he's been talking to Chase about it, but I really hope that works out in our favor.
Right.
Chase got really pissed off today at the reporters, asking him questions about OTAs and, well, do you think you should have been here at OTAs? Look at the first half of your season, not playing real well. Where were you? And then he ripped on them, saying, I was out getting money, I was getting paid, I was doing commercials. You'd be doing the same. It got contentious. And I'm sure that's happening because Chase Young just saw his names in the paper, his name's online because his coach is throwing him under the bus, And I just hope that the team responds okay to that. So as of right now, he hasn't lost the locker room. But I will say this, and I hate having to admit this. I got a friend of mine who's a big Eagles fan, but he really follows the NFL. He said, he goes, Ron Rivera is not going to be a good hire for you guys. He goes, yeah, he's going to be okay, he's going to make you better from a PR standpoint, but he's like, go look at what he did in Carolina. He made the playoffs 3 out of his 9 seasons. Every third year, he would make the playoffs. That's kind of the crap we were doing here with Jay Gruden and Mike Shanahan. And I just hope I'm torn when it comes to Ron. What do I want to see in the second half? Do I want to see us improve and show some signs of life? Or do I want to see us just kind of tank to get the best draft pick? And I don't really know the answer right now. But I'm curious to see how this team responds because I didn't see him going 2-6. I wouldn't have been surprised at 3-5 or like that. But 2-6 and not a lot of hope coming into the second half of the season. It surprises me.
Huh? Yeah. I go C-. I go C-. That could easily be D+. And the reason being, I gotta be careful that I'm not being biased by what he did and the motivation he gave the team a year ago. But then it almost makes me think, were they motivated because of the stuff he was dealing with? Right. And we're gonna do it for him because of that, and not necessarily him in particular. Because this year, it's I mean, to your point, Ab, it just doesn't look like it looks like he is delegating. Like when the camera pans to him, he looks like, why are you looking at me? Look over at them because that's where I pushed them off. But it's like, you're the leader. 2-6, I did not expect that. But I also didn't expect to lose Fitzpatrick, Samuel, Sheriff, all 3 of those guys. And Gibson had, he's been dealing with his toe and things like that. So, all things considering, we're not 0-8, but I can't go much higher than a C-. And I really am leaning so close to D+ because it just seems like he's making us into the 2021 Carolina Panthers. Or, you know what I mean? We're just we're just becoming the Panthers. He's not becoming shy about bringing those guys over anymore. Now it's kind of like, oh, let's bring this guy. I played with him before. Oh, I mean, right now with Cam, shout out to Cam getting his job back, going to Carolina. What's saying he doesn't say, oh, you're back there? Why don't you come back? It's just, it's crazy. The things I don't feel like, and Ab, you mentioned this like a week or so ago, maybe, cancer is never easy. And even if you beat it, it still takes a lot out of your system. Maybe just is not the same. Maybe him delegating and to other people's because that just takes too much out of him. And it's rough. I hate to say it because he is a culture guy. He has at least made us on the surface look better and kind of shielded stuff from Dan Snyder. But 2-6 is 2-6, and the way we're playing on the field is kind of that it falls under his umbrella. So I got to go there. I got to absolutely go there. All right, going on, we're going to go first with the offense. Will, I'm coming to you. Scott Turner, what grade do you give him?
Man, y'all going to fall over. Scott Turner gets a B for the season.
A B? What?
Absolutely. 100%. The issue with our team is not Scott Turner. He's doing just fine, and we'll be all right with him.
Oh, my goodness.
You'll be surprised. I believe that Scott Turner is making the most out of what he has. We've already gone over what we are lacking, okay, and all the players we're missing. I think the NFL allows you to move the ball. Like it is designed where the defense is going to, they're going to let you move the ball a little bit, and they're going to clamp down in the end zone because they don't want to get beat deep. And then all of a sudden, once they have that end line, then they're going to come back and he gets the ball moving. He moves the ball. As much as we're ripping on Heineke as not being a franchise quarterback, as Andy Dalton came in for the Cowboys last year and did not move the ball for them. There are other teams that bring in their backups that do not move the ball up and down the way Heineke has been leading our offense. I'm not saying that Scott Turner's perfect, and that's probably why I'm not giving him an A, because he certainly wouldn't deserve that. Last year, we were 29th in offense, okay? We were terrible. What has changed about our team from last year to this year in the makeup of it? Not much at all, really. I mean, we're the same offense out there, and if anything else, we now don't even have Logan Thomas, so we're less. He's improved that by half. I'm not saying that's great, but when you look at what we're averaging with 348 yards, and that's seventh in the NFC, so it's about middle of the road in the whole NFL. We're ninth we're seventh in rushing, which needs to be better. So again, that's halfway in the NFL. He's not the problem. We're 2-6 because our defense is atrocious and can't stop anybody. But we're not 2-6 because of Scott Turner. So I got no problem with Scott, and I gave him a B. I feel really strongly about it too. How about it?
Wow. You know what? I'm gonna go to let you kind of huff and puff over there, Ab. Look, I'm gonna give him a C- because I think he does some of his play calling is. I understand he's dealing with a lot with the injuries and things like that, but some of his play calling I feel like is kind of like, all right, let's just kind of not give up, but just all right, just whatever. I'm dealing with this, so let me just dumb it down completely. And I maybe it's my expectations. Maybe that's what it is. Perception leads to reality. Shout out to you, Nathan Snell. I perceived we were going to be a lot better. I mean, obviously we made a lot of the moves, and a lot of our guys, shout out to De'Ami Brown, he's underachieved. He has not been that great, and maybe we can say the quarterback, whatever, but he's had opportunities to catch balls, and he's dropped a lot. I just don't think – I think that offense is being dumbed down or not. We're just not doing it. I can't give him anything higher than a C myself. And I want to root for him, but I've seen some of that stuff, and maybe I'm not diving into it as much. But that offense from what we were a year ago, yeah, I believe we might be a little bit better by the stats or whatever. But yeah, I expected more, and I mean that's where I'll leave it. Well, Ab, what do you think, man?
Honestly, I said it before. We're moving the ball. Like I think it's a D- F. Like honestly, and the only reason I'm sorry. Let me give him some respect. D+. And so like the only reason why I say that is because we moved the ball. That's the only respect at all that I give for what he's doing, because we're not scoring. I just told you guys, like he's doing almost 400 yards a game of offense, but only 10 points a game. Bro, come on, man. Like our losses, we haven't scored over what? And that was the Saints game. That was 4 games ago. We scored 22 points.
Mm-hmm.
And everything other than that was 13 and under. So 400 yards a game, but only scoring 10. That doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? If you like, to me, if you are accumulating 400 yards a game, you're winning that game. So the problem, like you guys are like, to me, I think we just emphasize different things. You guys are saying because he moves the ball, they actually got an offense going. They're accumulating some offense. Okay, granted, but we're not scoring. We're not scoring, guys. And honestly, you're saying, and then to me, that's why we're losing games, because we're not scoring. Yes, it's the defense. I'm not disagreeing there, but we're not scoring. Mm-hmm. And that is the issue. You win games by putting points on the board. And whatever he is doing, he becomes stagnant when it gets too close to the red zone. And that is just legit what it is. He literally becomes stagnant, and except for a few lucky plays that Heineke does, and we've said this before, guys. We've said it before. We are literally 3 plays away from being an 0-8 team. an 0-8 team. like you know what I'm saying? So like to me, and that is because of him. And we've talked about it, the flow of the game. There's something that he does that makes this flow just weird. It's like it's not fluid. It's like it's like, you know what I'm saying, the plays that he calls, it's just like why that doesn't even, like, you know what I'm saying, it's not even clever. It's just bad play calling. Like, so honestly, only respect I give for him is that he puts yardage into our stats. That's it. And honestly, because we need to emphasize that it doesn't mean diddly D unless you put points on the put points up. So yeah, D plus, guys.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I grade Scott Turner so highly is what you're talking about. We move the ball, and then when we get to the red zone, we need plays to be made. Mm-hmm. And he has no playmakers out there besides McLaurin. And the defenses have now they're going to shut Terry down as much as they can. And we're trying to throw passes in the end zone to DeAndre Carter. You know, we're trying to throw it to Ricky Seals-Jones and Adam Humphries. And like, yeah, like, of course we're not scoring, you know, at that point, because they're not going to beat their guys one-on-one. You know, so that's why I can't fault him for that. And the fact that if he's able to be getting us moving up there, giving us a chance, getting us competitive in the games, to me, I'm cool with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, we got to figure something out. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to mention this. North Carolina is playing University of Pittsburgh right now. We were down heavy, but now we are down by 3, 23-20 with under 2 minutes to play. Tune into that, ladies and gentlemen. Might be something you want to watch a little bit later. And
nobody worried about that.
I am. Let's go. And Ab, I'm coming right back to you on something I know you've been wanting to talk about. You've been talking about the last couple of weeks. There's one more coach that we need to grade, and this is our defensive guy. This is Jack Del Rio. How you feeling, Ab?
I said it earlier in the show. They literally went into this season trying to fix something that wasn't broken. And I'm not saying the defense, but in general, not the defense in general. They tried to fix the defensive line, and it wasn't even broken. I think there's an issue there. I think there's an issue in play calling. I think we're not on the same page on defense. I think the chemistry that with all the players and everything like that, it's just not there, you know, like. And I know you guys are disagreeing with me on this, but I wholeheartedly feel that this is the defense. I'm sorry, this is the defensive coordinator's fault. And it's totally the defensive coordinator's fault. There's no reason why we should be far apart on a collective unit as the way it is. And I blame the defensive coordinator for this. I would not be surprised, and this goes to the offensive coordinator too. I would not be surprised if we have a new offensive coordinator or a new defensive coordinator come next year. Because I think they are both doing that horrible of a job.
Wow. You said F? Did you give him F?
I give him. Oh yeah, I thought that was like from me passing on him the whole time. I thought that was a given, but yes, F.
You didn't get all super animated. I didn't know if it was an F.
No, it's just nice. like I'm just so, like, you know what I'm saying. It's like that bad relationship. You know what I'm saying. You just like, I'm tired of putting energy into you. You know what I'm saying. Like I speak on it so much, and it's like I said. Just like the cornerbacks, they got me and Will disagreeing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like disagreeing with Will all the time. You know what I'm saying? I respect what Will says a lot of the time. I really do. I really respect what Will says. Like, honestly, I be listening. I'm like, oh, he has a point. But he has not had a point today. So, like, and it's making me upset.
Will, where you got a rebuttal? Where you got, Will?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't hate Del Rio as much as Ab does on this, but I am disappointed in what I've seen out there. I do think that we got overhyped with the defense in the offseason. I think that what we saw from Tom in the playoffs became what we saw in 2021, of us getting shredded, and the holes that we had never did get fixed. But I agree with the where's the creativity out there,
Right.
And that's my biggest concern. Like, it took too long to bring Landon Collins off safety to linebacker.
Yes.
Yep. If Chase Young is struggling, we need to be doing something to highlight him more, because he individually is our most talented defensive player. Mm-hmm. And so I am concerned about that. I also have a lot of faith in Del Rio. He's been doing this for years, to where I'm excited to see what happens the second half of the season. I'm excited to see what happens against Tampa Bay, because my gosh, I know it's Tom Brady, but if we don't have 2 weeks to scheme against these guys and can't do better than a 9.5-point spread, then I really will have to lose a lot of faith in these guys. Yeah. But I feel like Ron and Del Rio, if I don't think that they're the problem, I'm putting more blame on the players. I don't think they're coming up with the solutions fast enough to fix the problems, to move the Landon Collins to linebacker, where he's been excelling at. Like, that's the stuff I would have thought they would have come up with a whole lot quicker than they had. And so I'm gonna give Del Rio a D, because our defense sucks.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna give him a D too. And actually, for a lot of what you said, because it has taken them so long to get it and to bring Collins down. But like we talked about, it took them so long even to blitz. How many games did they just sit back just with the 4 defensive linemen and not bring any pressure? And you're like, what? You know what I mean? And I really feel like they kind of like, look, I was expecting. We've known what Del Rio has done as a player and as a coach. We've seen the defenses that he's brought to the table, the top tier defenses. I was expecting that. I thought you have the talent. Why is that not being, happening on the field? There's a miss. Something's not right. And if you're the leader, you're the one who teaches, like, what's going on here. So I definitely think that he has to get a D, because it's like he's saying, all right, I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to wait. Man, I'm just going to let it keep going. And then it's like, it's not working. And he's like, but I'm going to trust it. Trust the process. No, stop trusting the process. Move on. We need to fix it. And it's like he's not fixing it. And Will, I think you hit it on the head with, it's like, finally, you move Landon Collins to like a kind of a roaming, a hybrid linebacker. Finally. You know what I mean? But how long are we going to have to get torched at corner before you're like, all right, this ain't working? How long do we have to get gas? You know what I mean? So we've got to figure it out. And hey, like you said about Chase Young, man. Ab, you pointed it out earlier about the chip blocks. You know what I mean? That's something that's, in football realm, it's elementary. Just slow down the fast guy, you chip him with the running back. How many times have we done that when we played? So it's one of those situations where it's like, if that's what they're going to do, okay, then you run a stunt. You run him on the inside, let the other guy come out, switch it up, do something, bring extra pressure. Give us something, or give these guys something so they can play with, and stop thinking, okay, I'm going to send 4 and play coverage, because that ain't working. It's not. We got to blitz. We got to do something. And unfortunately, it falls on him. Now, since he did start moving Landon Collins up, I'll give him a reprieve and not give him an F. But it's a D-. It's still low, because you still haven't done anything else. And it doesn't look good. And look, like you said, we're giving up points. We're giving up points to teams that we should be beating. The Broncos put up 17, and to some people it's like, oh, that's not. But the Broncos have not been doing good. Okay, the Chiefs, we were in that game. They threw 2 interceptions to us, and we still gave them 24. Jameis put up 33 on it. Look, we have to be doing better, and it's it's worse because it's a teaser. Because you go to like that Packers game or and the Chiefs game where it's like, oh, we're kind of holding them. We're not doing bad for a half. And then it's like, oof, here it goes. You know what I mean? So it's rough, but I can't give him anything higher than a D- myself. I absolutely cannot. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, look, we appreciate y'all being here with us. Nathan, we appreciate you being here with us. We have gone for 2 hours, and we can go for 2 more if we had the time. If we don't have to work, kids, the whole 9. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on real quick to the game day preview. Like Will alluded to, we are playing the GOAT, the man they call the GOAT, Mr. I can do what I want, including.
Oh, man. Oh, wow.
Including throwing trophies from one boat to the other.
Love it.
We are playing Mr. Tom Brady in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The spread is 9. I mean, how you guys feeling? Like what? You know what? Let's go to it. Let's go to it. I'm not afraid, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to give you the keys to victory. And I'm going to tell you the number 1 key to victory. Do everything in your power to keep Tom Brady off the field. Okay? You run the ball for as long as you can run it. You do whatever. You in politics, what do they call it? Filibuster. You just keep going until he cannot get on the field. Because if he's on the field with everything that we just talked about, it's going to be struck. Because we had 2 weeks to prepare for them, but they also had 2 weeks to prepare for us. And so it's kind of like, ugh. So, Will, what do you think, man? Do you have any keys to victory?
You're right. Keep Tom Brady off the field. Like you said, do what we said earlier today. What are our strengths of our team? Running the ball. Mm-hmm. The only thing we got going on right now is we've got a running game. We need to run the ball. We need to continue to run the ball. And we need to move Heineke around. If you let him stay in the pocket, he's not going to be successful. Bruce Arians said it. They got caught last year in the playoff game because they didn't know who he was, and they didn't expect him to be as mobile and do what he did. So, but they're like, if we kept him in the pocket, we would have been fine. So you've got to scheme up and make sure that he's moving around a little bit. You run some boots, get him moving. Just don't let him try and sit back there and try and be like Aaron Rodgers, because that's not going to be him. That's not going to be successful. Right. And the Bucs are banged up a little bit. I mean, Godwin and AB are not practicing this week. Mm-hmm. They might be slightly less manned. Is Grunt coming back? I'm not sure.
No, he's out. It looks like he's out too.
Yeah, so I mean, they're slightly undermanned here, so maybe there's a chance. And I can't name their corners either right now unless they've all come back healthy. I'll just say this. I said it to Jack earlier this week. This is the Redskins thing that we do. We go off and we win this game. We win games we shouldn't win.
Yep.
And this is what we do. And if we can't do better than a 9-point spread, then I think we really need to just give up on the season if we get torched in this game. But somehow it's like this is going to be one of those BS games that we win.
Yep. It tends to happen. Ab, what are you thinking, man?
That's kind of like false hope to me, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
as is being a Washington fan,
it is
false hope.
And like, just like I said, like, the games after this game are completely manageable. Like, honestly, like, I don't even think, like, unless it's Dallas, but honestly, I like I told you, like, other people like around the league, they won't even they'll be like, oh, we're going against Dallas and you guys are going to get stomped. Yeah, maybe, but you guys don't understand division games are played differently. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a little bit of pride there. Like, it's like you got, like, it's a nitty gritty, grimy game. And so it'll be a lot more closer than people think. But the Tampa Bay game, just like you said, it's a total Washington thing to do just to win a game like this. I'm I don't know if you guys, I've said this to you guys before, but there was a time period, it was like 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row, we beat the eventual Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
It didn't make the playoffs. No. But we beat the eventual Super Bowl champions 3 years in a row. And I'm trying to tell you guys, I kept the stat. It was like Green Bay 1 year and so on. But it's just, that is just something we do. And I think it's just crazy that that's what we can all of a sudden bring it together for one game and like play well, play like a collective unit, like the right play calls and everything like that, and actually come out with a win, but end up with like a 1-15 record. Come on, man. That's just it. I don't even know if that, it sounds so bad and it's so horrible, but guys, the keys to this game is, John, you said it. I think it's the key to every game. But then at the same time is I'll add the being fluid. I was just telling you about our play caller. It's like he doesn't know how to have a fluid game, fluid play calling. There's a rhythm. And I know you don't think I know you're I know you give this man props, but he's just not fluid in his play calling. And I'm trying to tell you, I really pay attention to it, bro. I really do. And in order for this to happen, we need to keep Tom Brady off the field, and we just need to have a fluid play call and stop trying to make Heineke win the game. There you go. That right there. That is a big one. Just
take it out of his hands.
Put it into our running backs' hands. You know what I'm saying? We have two good running backs. And honestly, hopefully Gibson is healthy because I about gave up on him in fantasy football. So I just you know what I'm saying? So I was just
atrocious in that.
Yeah, man. It's so bad, man. Yeah. But it's just 55 yards a game, you know what I'm saying? That's not good. That's not good at all. You know what I'm saying? So to me, we need to pound the ball. He needs to get about 20 touches. I'm trying to tell you. McKissick needs to get about 8 passes. You know what I'm saying? And we just need to, if we need to disperse between the two of them, throw Terry in there every now and again, that is the key to this victory. And not overly throw the ball. Stop putting it in Heineke's hands. Stop putting it into Heineke's hands. So
bring back the Alex Smith playbook.
Dink dunk.
Heineke needs to believe in that too. For whatever reason, this boy thinks he's all world. I don't know, why is he doing why is he doing that? Some of the throws he does, I'm like, bro,
take what you're given, right?
Yeah, right. You know, and that's why Tom Brady played for so long. He legit is bink, 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 bink until he sees you guys cheating up or something, and then that's when he's like, bow, and throws you off guard. That is what I'm talking about, playing chess. You know what I'm saying? It's just get you comfortable, get you chilling. Oh, he ain't gonna throw over us, and then all of a sudden he throws it over the top.
Yep.
Too easy, man. Too easy. So,
absolutely right. Absolutely. Look, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, we hope for the best, but we are realistic. We know who we are facing. If that man gets 4 or 5 drives on us, that could be the ball game. And he might not need that much the way we're playing, but hopefully we are hoping against hope that this could be a positive weekend and we can do some things, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely check that game out. Washington versus Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here with us. We've been on here for over 2 hours. You've been with us.
We didn't get through everything we wanted to.
Right. There's so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we love this sport. We dive into this. We love our team. There's so much that we can really get into, and we're definitely going to bring this back to in the coming weeks. Our draft pick grades and our free agency and off-season grades. We definitely want to take a look at some of these guys that we've picked up either in the draft or through free agency or trades or off season because not trades. We don't obviously. But so we don't do that. So we definitely want to look into that into the coming future. But as for tonight, we have to let you go. Thank you, Nathan, for being with us. Yeah.
Real quick, let's do our predictions for the game.
Oh yeah. What you got, Ab?
That can go fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I know you got, honestly, I think I'm being too pessimistic here, but I'm going to say 33-13.
Yeah, I said 34-7. That's the first thing that came to my mind, so I'm not that far off from you.
I told you, we're going to win this game, guys. 23-19.
Let's go.
Washington wins.
Let's go. Wait a minute.
I believe in Ron Rivera.
In honor of my partner on Let's Talk Football.
That make me crazy.
Does that make him crazy, ladies and gentlemen?
One more thing. Key to beating Tom Brady, you need to put pressure on Tom Brady. That's it. Literally put pressure on Tom Brady. Yep. We need to get creative and stop playing like we have the first half of the year. Yep. We need to be a different team. Come out the breaks, different team.
Yep.
Yes. And also, we are paging Nick Foles. If you are available and you can dress up as Heineke, come on and help us beat Tom Brady because that's all the hope we got right now. Hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're so glad you're here with us today. We will definitely be back with you next week. Tune in Sunday to watch us potentially, hopefully, maybe, crossing our fingers, praying to God, beat the GOAT. Beat the GOAT, take the W, and get this season back on track. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we're smart about it. It's either we do something and we win the next couple games, or we realistically start looking at the offseason, which is something we all love anyway. So, hey.
I know.
We'll see.
All for it.
Right. So, hey, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. There we go. Look, we got to let you go, ladies and gentlemen. You know who it is, man. Anthony Haney calls me the shout-out king. Mr. Sweat in the building, Tar Heel Nation. I'll check that in a little bit. My guy over here, South Carolina's eggplant, Will Kramer in the building.
I'm up late, fellas. I'm up really, really late.
It's past my bedtime. It's past my bedtime.
Tell Trish he said sorry. Yo, and my guy is Shirtless Wonder. Yo, Av Low in the building. Yo, appreciate you guys so much for watching us, man. We will definitely see you next time, man. Be easy, ladies and gentlemen.
Be easy.